Week 3, Monday. The client has college from 8:30 till 3:45. After college, the client has a football game that starts at 6 p.m. Considering the time it takes the client to get to the pitch, I do not believe the client has enough time to partake in exercise, as he will not have enough time to recover before the game. Games also run for a long time and will finish quite late, at around 8 o'clock or later. The client will not be able to do any exercise beforehand, as he again will not have any time to recover and also has college the next day. I'd recommend the client stretches after his game, but stretches both after the game and before sleep. Time after the game can also be dedicated to complete any work that the client needs to do for college. Tuesday. Client has college from 3:30 till 5. The client has a late start for college on Tuesday. He also does not have any football games on training on this day, therefore I believe the client is able to do a high intensity workout to increase muscular hypertrophy. I believe before college the client should go to the gym to work on legs, as this will help him improve his power in his legs and therefore improve efficiency whilst playing, as he will be able to jump higher for headers, to header the ball and possibly run fast to receive through balls. The client should be working at 50 to 75% of his 1 rep max according to Charlotte Boys. As we move later into the weeks, I believe improving the strength as well as size will be beneficial for the client. Therefore, less reps and less sets of heavier weights will result in an increase of strength and will be implemented into the plan. I would recommend training lower body with 2 to 3 sets and 8 to 12 reps. The warm-up should involve light stretching or a light jog. An example of the workout would be front barbell squats with 3 sets and 8 reps, stiff-legged deadlifts with 2 sets and 10 reps, 1 leg extension of 2 sets and 12 reps, seated leg curls of 2 sets and 12 reps, split squat of 2 sets and 10 reps, and donkey calf raises of 2 sets and 12 reps. Wednesday. The client has college from 8:30 to 11:45. The client has training on this day at 4 p.m. Therefore, I feel he should only participate in exercise for a short amount of time. I would recommend the client does some skill-related activity before practice, such as practicing free kicks and practicing skill moves which can be applied to a game situation. This will help the client to be more efficient when playing, moving closer to his goal. After training, I would recommend the client improves flexibility and balance by stretching and holding the stretch, and using any test from the Berg balance test and timing it. After training, the client should have time to complete work that needs to be completed for college. Thursday. College from 12:30 till 2. The client has an opportunity to go to the gym after college, where he shall partake in another high-intensity workout. On this day, I would recommend the client works on his back, shoulder, and core, as these are other important muscle groups used in the client's sport. Improving these should help with ball control, jockeying, and holding defenders off, which will help the client in a game situation due to his position. This session will mainly focus on size as opposed to strength. Therefore, sets and reps will again be increased. I believe the client should have around exercises with 3 to 4 sets and 6 to 15 reps due to the ab crunches. The client should be working at 50 to 75% of his 1 rep max, according to Charlotte Boys. I believe the warm-up should consist of a light stretching of the upper body, as a lot of muscles in the upper body will be used to support, even if not being used in the actual exercise. An example of an exercise is heavy barbell rows of 4 sets and 8 reps, heavy deadlifts of 4 sets and 8 reps, heavy clean and press of 3 sets and 6 reps, bent over laterals of 4 sets and 8 reps, barbell shrugs of 4 sets and 10 reps, and crunches of 3 sets and 15 reps. Friday. College from 8 till 12. I believe the client should have a rest on this day due to the previous days of which he has had to do intense exercise on Tuesday and Thursday. As opposed to other days on this rest day, I believe the client should improve flexibility and balance by using different techniques. Flexibility can be increased using resistance bands, as stretching can begin to become tedious. Resistance bands can be used to allow for deep stretches and also stretching places that would be harder stretching without them. For example, different areas of the hamstring. Balance can also be improved by using a balance ball, which will also help the client with the recovery of his ankle, as it is helping with range of movement. Saturday. The client is not doing anything on this day, therefore I believe he should go for a 5k run in order to improve cardiovascular endurance. This will help the client in-game, as he will be less fatigued and therefore be able to play for longer amounts of time. As suggested last week, the client should be aiming for sub 22 minutes, as he is quite fit and regularly goes for runs. The client has training the next day early in the morning, and therefore the run will need to complete it again early in the morning to allow for better recovery. Sunday. The client has training early on this day and nothing planned for the rest of his day. I believe this day should be a rest day for the client, where he improves flexibility and balance using the new techniques implemented on Friday. Stretching using the resistance bands should be held for 30 to 45 seconds, and balance on the balance ball should be kept for around 60 seconds if possible. Week 4. Monday, college 8:30 till 3:45. The client has training on this day at 6 p.m. Considering the amount of time it takes the client is at college and the time he has to be at training for, I would not recommend any exercise on this day. Instead, I would recommend the client uses this rest day after college to complete college work and work on flexibility and balance by stretching and maintaining control of the body over a minute while balancing. Tuesday, college from 3:30 till 5. The client has a football game on this day at 7 p.m. I would not recommend any intense exercise, as he would not be recovered and ready for the game, but instead to familiarize himself with the opposition's tactics by watching tape from games played against other teams. By familiarizing himself with their plays, formations, and etc., he will be able to find gaps in the defense which the team can attack later on in the game. This will help the client to get more opportunities to score, therefore raising their chances of winning. After practice, I would recommend the client stretches his whole body and has a light dinner, as the game finishes late and the client will likely be going to bed shortly after to follow his sleep schedule. Wednesday, college from 8:30 to 11:45. The college day is quite short for the client, and therefore he has an opportunity to go to the gym and do a high intensity exercise. As this is week 4, the client may feel tedious of doing circuit and resistance training, and therefore we will change the program to add plyometric training, which will increase the power in the legs, which again is a goal wanting to be completed by the client by the end of the 6-week program. The warm-up should likely be more dynamic, as the client's movements will not be static like the resistance training done in the prior weeks. The warm-up should consist of toe touches, calf raises, leg swings, and etc. And where the client's ankle injury, and therefore this training will only be done once a week, with rice applied to his ankle afterwards. If the client is unable to partake in the exercise due to this injury, I have alternative workouts planned. An example of the plyometric workout the client should follow is lateral box hops of 2 sets and 10 reps, front box jumps of 2 sets and 6 reps, jump ropes of 200 reps, step-ups and knee drives of 2 sets and 16 reps, scissor jumps of 2 sets and 10 reps. Thursday, college from 12:30 till 2. The client does not have training on this day, therefore I believe the client has time to partake in exercise after college. The client also mentioned one of his goals is to improve speed by week 6. Therefore, I feel we should implement this into his program by using fartlek training. Fartlek training means speed play, and is when you run at different speeds on different terrains, done either randomly or planned before the run. This will be helpful for the client as it can be seated to simulate a game situation more than a 5K can. This is because in football games there will be unexpected changes of speed. This will also affect the client's agility, which is helpful for him, as again, it is important in football. An example may be jogging for 6 minutes, change to a speed walk for 30 seconds, and followed by a sprint for the length of half a football pitch to simulate a through ball in a game. I would recommend the client only does this for 30 to 45 minutes, as it can be very tiring. With what time he has left in the day, the client should complete any work that needs to be finished for college. Friday, college from 8:30 to 11:45. I believe this should be a rest day for the client where flexibility and balance is improved using the resistance bands and balance ball. The stretches with the resistance band should be held for 35 to 50 seconds, and balance should be maintained on the balance ball for 60 seconds. The client should be careful when using the balance ball due to the plyometric training on Wednesday. His ankle may be sore, and if so, should not use the balance stool, but instead one of the Berg balance tests. Saturday. The client has training on this day early in the morning and a free day from then on out. Therefore, I believe the client should go to the gym to work on core later on in the day after his training. His training finishes at 10:30, therefore I will allow the client time for recovery and suggest he goes to the gym at 2 o'clock. Better core will help the client with stability and balance, as well as raise the client's self-esteem as during the program, and therefore keep him motivated towards the final weeks of the program. As always, the client should be working at 70 to 75% of his 1 rep max, but will mainly be using body weight for these exercises. The warm-up for these exercises should consist of exercise of the same category, but less intense, as there are not many core stretches. This circuit will need to be done twice by the client, with 30 seconds of doing each exercise and a 15-second break. At the end of the set, the client will have an 180-second break, and then move back into a set again. Sunday. I believe this should be a rest day for the client, on which he does some skill-related work. This may involve practicing control of the ball, skill moves, and many more. This will help simulate a game situation which the client can be used to find different ways of attacking the goal or finishing shots. Stretching should also be improved on by using both resistant bands and static stretching, with stretches being held for 35 to 50 seconds. Finally, the client should use this day to finish any college work for the next day. Week 5. Monday. College from 8:30 till 3:45. I believe the client should partake in plyometric training on this day, as he has had a rest day the day before and needs to complete this type of training to improve his power and speed. Again, I believe this training should focus on the client's legs, as the client is a football player and mainly uses his lower body when playing. The warm-up should likely be more dynamic, as the client's movement will not be static, like the resistance training done in prior weeks. The warm-up should consist of toe touches, calf raises, leg swings, and etc. The workout will be the same as last week's, with intensity levels increasing due to sets and or reps increase. Similar to last week, the workout avoids high impacts of the foot, such as broad jump, and instead uses a lot of support or different ways of landing due to the client's injury, which will avert it from his ankle. If the client still feels discomfort whilst doing this workout, there is an alternative exercise. The exercise done will be lateral box hopping of 2 sets and 10 reps, front box jump of 3 sets and 6 reps, jump rope of 300 reps, step-ups and knee drives of 2 sets and 20 reps, and scissor jumps of 2 sets and 10 reps. Any time left in the day for the client should be used to complete any work for college.